Hey guys, my name's Judd and this is Steven with Southern Off-Road, and we've got some Cfmoto side-by-sides that we're going to show you around today.
Yeah, we're excited. We've got the Cfmoto Z1000. This is their top of the line sporting rig, and we think it offers a tremendous amount of performance per dollar. And if you got a few more dollars to spend, well, we've set this one up with a few cool aftermarket mods, and we'll walk you guys through both and see what you think.
Well, let's get started. All right, Steven, so what do we have here?
Well, we got the Zforce 1000, and what this is basically a very high value unit. This is something that you might get into to be able to keep up with anybody else out there on a 1000 cc machine, but you don't want to spend $20-something thousand. These retail at $13,999, and for that you get some pretty solid components, man. You take a look, you're going to have remote reservoir, coil over shocks. You get a 963 cc V-twin engine. It's very torquey. It's like 60 foot-pound of torque and just under 80 horsepower. So it's plenty of power for a trail rig like this. You know, you can drive with the throttle. You know, you can break the back end loose. But at the same time, it's not twitchy or high-strung. It's something that you can just take around and mess around with.
Yeah, absolutely. Driving it up here, it was awesome. It had a lot of power behind it. It's going to be hard to get stuck, that's for sure. It had a lot of power behind it, and I enjoyed it. I might have to look into getting one, but it was definitely fun on the way up here. So you said it had the cool over shocks, probably nice on the trail, not as bumpy. What about a winch? Does it come with a winch? Or
yeah, I was going to say, yeah, if you do manage to get it stuck, it does come with a winch standard. And that's one of the things we like about Cfmoto is a lot of this stuff does come standard. So, you know, you get the trick doors,
right.
You get a roof, you get a nice stainless steel heavy-duty bumper, and you get a winch standard. It's got a nice stance right out of the box, and you know, comfortable, well-bolstered seats, and it just seems to be a good fit and finish. You know, automotive-grade paint. It's a nice unit. It doesn't feel budget. It doesn't feel cheap, but for less than 14 grand, it's a good value.
Right. So when you come to Southern Off-Road and you want to purchase one of these, it's ready to go. I mean, you're not having to buy a winch. You're not having to buy the doors or the roof. It's already ready to go right out the gate. So that's.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's one of those things, man. At Southern Off-Road, we can't leave well enough alone. So
oh yeah.
Let me show you what we can do if you decide you do want to modify it a little bit.
And we'll put all the specs up on the screen for you. But this is a nice starting rig if you're wanting to get into the market, whether you're wanting to use it at the farm or you wanting to go hit the trails and hit the hardest things that Alabama has to offer. This is a great starting point. All right, Steven, so what do we have here? Looks like this one's a little bit modified.
Yeah, this is not your stock Z1000. And although it looks like a really crazy custom, you'd be surprised. A lot of the stuff that we put on this is real accessible. It's not budget-busting stuff, but it gives you a really unique custom look. And we've actually built this one for the shop, and we've taken it out a few places and showed it off. And we think it's interesting, the reaction that people have to it. It's sitting on a 2-inch Super ATV lift. You know, we did the wheels from Method, some big rubber. But people, they look at it and they don't know what they're looking at, and
right.
They see it just scrambling around, real agile on the trails, and you know, people are really impressed by it before they walk up on it, and they end up needing to know a little more.
So what did y'all change to this one from stock?
Well, like I said, to start with, we did a Super ATV 2-inch lift. We did Method beadlock wheels. Okay. Wrapped it in some, like I said, in some good rubber. Let's see, these guys are 30 by 10s, so you get a nice profile, but still plenty of room in the wheel well. We did some Cfmoto rock sliders, and these are straight from Cfmoto's parts catalog. But we like the custom stuff, so we ended up doing a little custom cage. Not really necessary, but cool, and that's sort of what reason enough for us sometimes. So we did this little custom cage, threw a light bar on it, some sounds, and then these guys came from Super ATV. Nice metallized doors, good intrusion protection, so if you do throw it around in the rough stuff.
throw it into a rock or a tree or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now this one is just like the one that we just saw, that it comes factor with the winch and everything like that.
Yeah, that's right. This one, we left the stainless steel bumper on. We thought that was a nice styling note. Didn't need to be replaced. Had the stock winch on it. About the only thing functional on the machine that we ended up changing was we went to a Two Brothers racing exhaust.
Okay.
Just gives it a cool note.
Oh, it does sound good coming up here. I was riding behind you on the way up here. It sounded really, really good.
Yeah.
So does that give it any performance boost, or just a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Usually when you go to a less restrictive system, you're going to get a little top end, you're going to give a little bottom end. So that's kind of what we think was going on here. Right. But what we were really impressed with is that this V-twin motor, cranking out about 60 foot-pound of torque, we threw these big tires on, and we didn't really feel it. You don't notice it. So that's it seems to be real forgiving of a little bit of tinkering. Yeah,
it looks very trail capable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to take it on the trail for a minute and see what it does?
Let's go hit it.
Cool.
Well, we just did 2 walk-arounds of these 2 Cfmoto side-by-sides. One stock, one pretty well built. They were absolutely amazing. Ton of power. The power steering out there on both of these was great. You just turn nimble, very nimble. The suspension just soaked up all the bumps. Comfortable seats. I mean, they're great vehicles.
Yeah, well, they are. It's kind of funny that all of that stuff comes standard. Also, you get the power steering. You get the coil-over shocks with the remote reservoirs. You get a ton of performance every dollar that you spend when it comes to these Cfmotos, and that's what we like about them. The Zforce 1000 is their top dog, 1000 cc unit. You can get it for less than $14,000 plus tax. So that's a tremendous savings over what you'd spend on a lot of these machines, and they come with the winch, with the good suspension, with the power steering. With the roof when you have them stocked. So great machines.
How can they contact us to buy one?
Yeah, just hit us up at southernoffroad.com on Facebook, or at 888-4x4 outlet. That's 888-4x4 outlet. Thanks for watching, guys.